that?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome back to the Co-op SoapBox podcast.
Episode
I am
5.
Rodon. Episode 5. Well,
Episode 5. Yeah,
episode 5.
we've been gone for a while, but
We have been gone for a while, and
I just got done with finals.
A lot to talk
about.
So we're already into the original trilogy. We've passed the prequels.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it only goes down from here.
Yeah. Well, we'll get by J.J. Abrams.
By the way, I don't know if we wanted to, because I talked about this.
There's some feedback
but
on
I don't know.
someone's end.
I don't know if we want to try the poker thing tonight, or if we want to try it another night. It's up to you guys, because I don't really, because I can play poker and talk at the same time. But
well, as my grandpappy used to say, liquor in the front, poker in the back.
I was gonna do a few things on the side.
Okay, then we'll just go ahead and say no for this one tonight.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm down for poker.
Well, then I mean, like, it comes to a vote, honestly.
Who's not down for poker? I didn't see anybody deny it.
Jaden's the one that's not down.
Jaden, you're not in the mood for poker?
I'm playing Skyrim on my other monitor.
While we're doing this.
Yeah.
But
you've got other things going on.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's a lot of
I mean,
hey, you do not know how many times I have played video games on another monitor.
You play video games so much you sound like tech support. You do not know how much I.
Whoa, Anthony. That was a little.
Anthony's going off on all kinds of like stereotypes tonight. Seriously.
Yeah, that.
Stereotypes before.
Well,
I'm wasted, so I'm a stereotype of my own culture right now.
I mean, he got the redneck stereotype. You know.
Did I?
And then the Indian tech support stereotype. So we're two for O.
It's Indian. I mean, I could have been Pakistani. That's
you
racist.
know what? I don't think we should continue this line of
I don't
thinking.
think that the Pakistani people sound like that.
And you guys probably will continue.
Sorry,
Actually,
go ahead, Jaden. What were you saying?
I just don't think we should continue with this.
Oh, I mean, it's just joking. Like, we have to. I understand that there's, you know, there are I guess.
Well, I'm not in like. It's not like I'm acting in the movie Short Circuit 2.
I mean, I suppose.
You know, if anybody doesn't know, that's a reference to a 1980s movie known as Short Circuit, in which a white character plays an East Indian, and he's actually a really great comedic actor. And it's unfortunate that that's in his record, but it happens.
That is interesting.
Hey, Lou Diamond.
I mean, oh, what's the guy's name in Tropic Thunder?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah,
but that
Robert
was
Downey Jr. I mean, he played a black character in that film.
But okay, there's a difference, because what Robert Downey Jr. was doing was he was parodying people like the white Short Circuit actor who played an Indian, the people who play black characters who aren't black, people who play natives who aren't native, people who play Mexicans who aren't Mexican. Lou Diamond Phillips, just Lou Diamond Phillips all around. But you know what I'm talking. You know what I mean. So
there's a lot of variants.
It was lampooning, because in fact in the first part of the movie Tropic Thunder, they show him playing a gay character. He's not gay, and it's later shown that the black character, the actual characters who I can't recall who he's played by, is actually both black and gay. So we have an irony there, because he has two reasons to be ultra pissed at Robert Downey as character. So it was a really deep cut, and a lot of people didn't get it right away, but people eventually caught on.
Well, I think that generally you should be able to make jokes if they're not at anybody's expense, and like that's kind of how I feel about it in general.
Sure.
If you're not trying to if you're not actively hurting somebody.
Well, I don't know. What Downey was doing was he was lampooning actors, which is kind of like lampooning yourself. It's like, yeah, that's what people do. We see white comedians do it. Parents do it when they're comedians. Black people. Everybody lampoons themselves and their own culture. It works well. It's funny, and it's how we get along. It's self-awareness, and that's what it's about, is self-awareness. And that's where racism is kind of like, that's the iffy part. It's the attempt at being aware of an entire group of people when you can't possibly be. It's a human shortcut.
Yeah,
like assumption,
because you can't experience what somebody else has experienced ever.
Exactly.
At least in its totality. But since we've been gone, so much has happened.
So very much. And so much has not happened.
and
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, and the world hasn't ended. We're still here, I think. That's a question for philosophy hour.
I'm barely even here most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I understand that, because there's like such a big disconnect between what we see and what we see like portrayed in the media, what we see portrayed even on social media, because we're living our own little quiet lives, our own little lives, in our offices, in our homes, in our grocery stores and whatever, and meanwhile the world rages on without us, and it's a lot to take in, I think, sometimes for I don't know. I think it's a lot to take in. And it's a lot to take in for average, your average person who doesn't really listen to politics all this much, and then you have this year come along, and absolutely just butt blast everybody, and everybody's got an opinion now. Nobody's. I hear very few people like today that don't have an opinion on this. It's always one way or another, and it's not like I don't really pay attention to that stuff anymore. Now it's like I believe this.
Tell me more about this butt blast,
please.
Oh yeah.
You've piqued my interest at butt blast.
Yeah. The operative word there being blast. I don't think that butt really needs to be a part of it. It can be any other kind of body part, any other kind of orifice you could blast.
Urethra blasting?
Ouch.
The urethral blast doesn't sound too great.
I mean, it depends on if you're.
Sounds amazing.
It sounds like a cool superpower.
I mean, if you're doing the urethral blasting, or you're receiving the urethral blasting, I guess it really depends. It's.
Well, I mean,
once you work the muscles down there, and it's probably the same as preparing for anal. You gotta loosen.
No.
Hey, you know what? And I've watched plenty of hentai.
From experience.
Understand. We cannot culturally understand. I've heard women talk about it. I've never heard men talk about it, so I have no idea what men go through. But I've heard what women go through. And that's
which part. Which one?
The urethral blasting.
Oh, right, the butt blast. Okay, so
women have urethras too.
I think we're talking specifically about anal now. I think that Anthony's talking specifically about anal.
Well, we did divert. It's like Hitler. It'll eventually be brought up.
I think we've already talked about Hitler like 3 times.
Let's not talk about the Hitler.
I wonder if Hitler ever had anal sex.
You know what? I don't think Hitler really ever had sex.
I don't think I need to know. I don't think I ever need to find that out. I don't think that's information I need to have.
There's actually a question of whether he was impotent or not, and yeah.
He paid her to be with him.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Wait, repeat that. I didn't catch that.
He didn't have any children.
He paid Braun to be with him.
Yeah, oh, he did. So this was
I didn't know that.
So this was a Michael Jackson, Lisa Marie Presley type of thing.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. They never had sex. No.
Really?
Nope.
Well, we did know that after his gassing, he did have erectile dysfunction. That's something we know. But hey, I mean,
after his gassing?
Oh yeah, he was gassed in World War One.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, the reason why he had his little mustache was to fit inside the gas masks that were issued to the German military at the time. It wasn't a style thing. He kept it afterwards as a style thing because it was iconic to him in a way.
Well, it certainly is iconic.
To him and Charlie.
Yeah, let's.
Charlie.
I mean, but yeah. The holidays have come and gone. It is currently the 27th of December.
Did we win the war on Christmas? Does anybody know?
Last time I heard, Santa Claus is still working with Al Qaeda. And that apparently his elves are manufacturing WMDs for Pakistan. So
why did it have to be Pakistan? I just imagine Santa Claus just for no reason, just making WMDs for fucking Pakistan.
Well, you have to.
It was for Botswana.
They were good little.
Where are the bombs for Botswana? Where's the bombs for Haiti? I want to know.
Listen, I don't decide what Santa Claus does. Okay, I just I just report.
Your job is just to report the news.
Yes,
that's right. It's
just
they were good little.
I just commentate on what's in front of the teleprompter.
You commentate in what's in front of the teleprompter?
Yes. Absolutely, I do.
Are you in front of the teleprompter?
Or is it
yes. Yes. I mean, yeah, I do all of that.
I guess, and Aaron, I guess it depends on how egocentric you are. Whether you think that you're the center of the world, or whether you don't.
Or inanimate objects, I guess.
I mean, considering
listen, that teleprompter has feelings.
Considering that I am the only person who I know is capable of consciousness, and all of you could be NPCs, and I could be in a video game. I mean, that's some real solipsistic shit, but
Fair. I mean, I think that if you asked like a good amount of people, I'd say that maybe 5 to 10% are like, yeah, like we could totally just be in the Matrix right now.
Yeah.
And technically they wouldn't be wrong. It's a possibility.
I mean, there's an algorithm that shows, like, based on our technological progress, how likely it is for us to be in a Matrix-like, whatever. And it rises every year, well, every minute, whatever, exponentially.
Where did you get that information?
But it goes back to like Descartes' meditation.
I feel like I've heard of what he's talking about.
I've heard of like the Kardashev scale, but that just talks about like the development of human civilization.
Yeah.
Technologically.
So, Descartes' meditation, and the Matrix just has like all kinds of philosophical references to it anyway. But Descartes' meditation is one of those, and it's kind of pervades the entire plot of the Matrix. Descartes' meditation is this. You imagine that the world is not real, that you have been lied to your entire life by a demon or a vicious entity or something that just doesn't want you to know that what's real is real. So up is not up, down is not down. You can't trust that if your foot, or if you plant your foot in front of you, that it's going to, actually connect. You can't trust anything. And Descartes' meditation allows you to question reality in the sense that you get to really question what's real, what's not real, and be skeptical of everything. But then at the end of Descartes' meditation, you go back. You basically say, okay, I have to assume that the ground is going to be there when I step on it, or else I can't live my life. So Descartes' meditation is about, yes, we imagine these things. We go through these things in our head. We feel these things out. But then we go on to our real lives because we have to live our real lives. We have to make money. We have to eat food. We have to piss water. We have to drink water and replace that water. We just have to assume that these things are true. I think just recently a mathematician proved that 1 + 1 is true. But that for a while was just something we had to assume was true, because we couldn't mathematically prove that 1 + 1 = 2. It was just something that worked mathematically, and then everything else from which could be proved based on the assumption that 1 + 1 does = 2. So anyway,
yeah,
some kid mathematically proved it like 10 years ago. I'll pull up the article.
Oh, okay. Yeah, please.
Anyway,
yeah, because I mean that's something interesting to like find out.
It's a fun.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to find out. But excuse me. I'm.
Oh, sorry. In 1994, it was Grigory Yakovlevich. Right.
Yakovlevich.
Okay, these are other things, Bob.
Regardless about that, what was the main point? I talked about the holidays and us coming back from the holidays.
Well, Jaden
actually talked about that. You kind of just brought it up 3 times, and then we started talking about really random things like peeing
and urethras,
and then something about Dayton's Parmesan or whatever the hell it was.
Hey, you know what? Parmesan is pretty fucking good.
Parmesan is pretty good. And now we're talking about Parmesan. Stop it.
Y'all wanted a very open
platform. I wanted to talk about frickin' Parmesan.
Well, and I get that. I get that.
This is what happens when we're allowed to go on
tangents.
Yeah, really.
Jaden, what do you put Parmesan
on? What do you put? I put it on my spagoot.
Fair enough, spaghetti.
Why?
It's pronounced.
Well, that's a fair one, Aaron. Where are you?
Yeah.
Aaron's the odd one out.
You are definitely the odd one.
Nobody puts Parmesan on spaghetti.
I put Parmesan on spaghetti.
Okay, fine.
Nobody does that.
Okay, fine. We put Parmigiano Reggiano on our spaghetti.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
I put shredded Parmesan on my.
No, it's Parmigiano Reggiano.
I couldn't hear either one of you.
Good.
Yeah, you both took each other's audio space.
Sorry. But it's Parmigiano Reggiano.
You guys are really weird. The only thing that I put Parmesan on is ambrosia.
Ambrosia is a fictional fruit from ancient Greek mythology.
Well, but isn't ambrosia also like a dish that is?
It's a summer salad.
Yeah, it's like canned fruit, all jelly.
Canned fruit and like whipped cream and a bunch of other stuff, and Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
You would put Parmesan on that?
That's all I use Parmesan.
And why is that, Aaron? That does not sound. I mean, I like cheese and grapes, but that seems to be going like a little wonky.
Well, then you can't act like we're the weird ones if you already know that you only put Parmesan on this one thing. I mean, everybody else doesn't.
But see, the point of this particular exercise is that weird is subjective, and I might think you all are weird while you think I'm weird. Well, who's right?
We are objectively.
Yeah, we are arguing from collective tradition.
There's three
which
of us.
There is no collective tradition.
Actually, yes, there is in America.
Tradition.
Yes,
what is it?
You would have been at some point socialized by your parents. You very likely socialized to put Parmesan on your spaghetti.
Or fettuccine alfredo.
Yes,
Ew,
this is something. This is something.
Parmesan is in fettuccine. You're okay.
No. He's fucking with us because it's not Parmesan because Parmesan
Romano or whatever
is the fake shit, and Parmigiano Reggiano is the real shit. Or wait, do I have?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's where he's getting at.
You put that on is peaches and grapes. You don't put it on spaghetti. That's weird. Nobody does that.
So he's coming from a position of bourgeoisie, or no, champagne socialism. Yeah, bourgeoisie.
I don't know how champagne taking a can of fruit that's been sitting on the shelf for 4 years, it really is, and putting Parmesan cheese on it. It honestly sounds like trailer park trash to me. Okay.
It's actually illegal.
You kidding me? You can afford that kind of hard cheese to put on your ambrosia?
Yeah, Kraft in the little can. That's exactly what I could put on my ambrosia.
Yeah, but he gets like a $30 like small 8-ounce cube of Parmigiano
8 ounces.
Reggiano.
No, I do 16 ounces of Parmesan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
oysters, crabs, catfish, crawfish, halibut. I'm sorry, not halibut. But lutefisk. They're like
shellfishes.
Well, I'm listing off basically garbage food that we eat, garbage stuff that we eat as a delicacy. I mean, it's like this is considered a cultural delicacy because it's garbage food. Because
125 years ago, lobster was considered garbage food that only poor people ate.
Right. Yeah. And so it could mean because like Parmesan, you know, the Kraft stuff that's in the crumbles. I mean, the ancient Romans regarded fish eggs or, you know, caviar as like peasant food, you know?
Right, yeah. Butter, though. Butter has always been something that has been collected and traded and carried with
because
people.
Fat tastes delicious.
Same with milk. Same with, I would argue, eggs, like regular eggs. I would argue sugar. I would argue a bunch of other things, certain spices, pepper, salt.
But we've always had butter.
For the record, I have never once put Parmesan in ambrosia or and
I didn't think that you were, but I'm trying to eke out like what your actual argument is because
my argument was that everybody has a subjective opinion.
But here's the thing. Of course, everybody has a subjective their subjective opinion, but just to come in and because things are subjective, that does not indicate a degree of not correctness but like righteousness. And I know that it's talking about cheese, but like how righteous is is a given action?
There's a shit ton.
How benevolent is that action?
The act of taking that Kraft jar and pouring it out on my ambrosia is extremely righteous, and I will stand by that till I die.
Okay, and so even we argue, and when we say that that's dumb, that's stupid, and you put Parmesan on spaghetti. We are arguing from tradition, and that's actually what conservatives do for the most part, is argue from tradition.
It's good. It's not tradition if it tastes good.
Well, it tastes good because you grew up.
You are kind of socialized to assume it tastes good, kind of like you are with beer and coffee.
I put other cheese on there. It doesn't work.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that, you know, many people in Nordic countries find fermented fish really, really good.
Surströmming is delicious in Nordic countries. Well, actually, no. You know, I will actually argue with you on that, because I've seen so many reaction videos of like people showing Swede surströmming, and they will be so disgusted by it. So.
Oh yeah, of course. There's surströmming is like a fermented canned fish.
Yeah, I know that's a terrible argument, but you know, it's an argument.
Lutefisk is delicious. Lutefisk is delicious. The problem with lutefisk is that it's a garbage eater. It's something that was culturally prepared and pickled and brined specifically because this is a fish that you wouldn't want to eat any other way. The preparation that's required in food is generally to kill the things that would kill you.
Right.
Catfish. I mean, you don't want to eat catfish too much because there's a lot of mercury in it, and that's our fault. Actually, it's your fault. It's all three of you. No, it's...
I pooped it out. Anyway.
Right.
I was trying to get to like the social argument that I was making and that he was making. Like, that's what I was trying to do. I apologize. Maybe I'm misreading the room.
We'll get to your social argument. I want to hear it.
Yeah, I do too.
I want to hear the...
Oh gosh, well, don't put that much pressure on me.
You have pressure. 32 seconds.
But regardless, I was just saying that we are arguing from a tradition. There is a tradition of putting, you know, Parmesan or a cheese equivalent, something like that, on top of spaghetti, right?
Culturally too, cultural tradition.
And well, it's culturally. I mean, I would say that Italians are probably less likely to put, you know, that like really that kind of crumbly Parmesan on spaghetti, I would think. But yeah, I would think that they prefer it shredded. But
so okay, so I will say though,
because I do think it's kind of like a white culture, like, you know, homogenous kind of.
So I'm gonna go further, and I might upset Aaron quite a bit, but I think Pecorino is better than Parmigiano. Mm-hmm. Mainly because of cost, and I can't really tell much of a difference. I will say Pecorino is a bit saltier, but
Parmesan has enough salt as it is. It's a very salty cheese.
But I like Pecorino a lot more because of cost.
Okay. That is. Hey, have you guys noticed that out of all of the quote unquote ethnic foods, there is no cheese whatsoever in Chinese cooking?
You know, I've noticed that there's no cheese in Indian cooking. I haven't seen any cheese in Indian cooking.
I've never noticed any of that.
East Indian.
Well, I mean, generally, like, they're... Oh, no, because...
Well, it makes sense for India because of how they view the cow. But Chinese food doesn't have any cheese whatsoever. There isn't a single Chinese dish, or at least the Americanized concept, where there's cheese.
I have not...
I'm sure, I mean, there's got to be, like, actually Chinese food and not Americanized Chinese food that has cheese in it. I mean, there's got to be something.
I haven't seen it.
There's got to be some traditional food, I'm telling you. There's no way. There's no way I can.
I've actually got the reason why, and this is funny, interesting, and kind of wild. The reason why there is no cheese in Chinese food is because 90% of people in China are lactose intolerant. Only
Well,
10%.
I think maybe it's the other way around because they weren't given so much dairy as a child. You don't build up the enzymes in your stomach required to break down lactose.
Well, I didn't mention why Chinese people are lactose intolerant. I just mentioned that Chinese food doesn't have
Right,
cheese.
I'm just saying that them not having cheese might be a cause and not necessarily
them being lactose intolerant being the cause. Right. You're saying that they are lactose intolerant because they don't have cheese in their diet.
Yeah,
they do. They actually pizza is a common food in China. It's just that they're still lactose intolerant.
Oh, and so is hamburgers and all that stuff. But we're talking about ethnic Chinese food. We're not talking about what was brought over in the last 40, 50 years. And more so than just, again, ethnic, real Chinese food. Even just look at Americanized Chinese food. We add cheese to everything, but we don't to Chinese food.
4 out of 5 Chinese people report having digestive problems after eating dairy products. China is the 3rd largest milk producing country, even though 80% are. I mean, that's so wild. Okay, let's.
But at the same point in time, from a historical perspective, there's there was never some of those countries weren't really conducive to raising like a lot of cattle on their land. It's better now, and they do more cattle raising, because you can think of things like Japanese Wagyu beef. I know it's Japanese food, not Chinese food, but even in that region, but now they have those like really high beef standards and stuff, so they make more cheese products. But it still seems that yeah, in China there's just no cheese. There's just no cheese.
I've got the damn study. I'm gonna post the study up here. I've actually got the academic study regarding lactose intolerance in the Chinese. It's fascinating. I still don't know why or what evolutionary purpose it served or what step they might have skipped. Raising cattle, perhaps.
I kind of agree with what Rodon was saying, because here's the thing.
Oh, there he is.
He was so mad that you agreed with me that he just
evidently. Wow, he just said to shut it off.
That's what I do.
Or agreeing with him. But no, I agree with what Rodon was saying, because here's the thing. It could have been something as simple as, for a very long time, thousands of years, whatever, the folks in that part of the world maybe just didn't practice eating dairy or didn't utilize cows for producing milk or things like that. So over time, they did naturally become more lactose intolerant. Or when they started to try it and stuff, it reacted horribly. So they just never used it in their cuisine.
Well, it's just interesting that never happened, because it would take possibly skipping that entire step, the raising of livestock, and just going straight to farming in high levels, which a lot of Asian countries do, in India as well. Just huge levels of farming in traditional farming styles. So instead of having the animal husbandry, cattle ranching stage, the nomadic cattle rancher stage, maybe they skip past that. It's a possibility, and it's something I, as an anthropology student, would consider, because that lactose tolerance is a big thing in both Africa and Europe. I mean, being able to drink that cattle milk was very important to our survival. I don't even know if there's a lactose intolerance in India.
I think in India.
I
mean, you wouldn't really know.
But I always thought that it was because of how traditional Hindus viewed cows, that they
And they're only 66%. Now that's still a high rate of lactose intolerance, but China has 80%.
I thought it was
80 to 90. I've got one report that says 80, one report that says 90, so I went with the lower one.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you go with the lower one unless you wanted
have some sort of pro-milk agenda?
Yeah.
No, because
no, you're definitely part of the milk lobby.
No, my personal bias is towards the high number, so I always go for the number that my bias is against, just to stay on the safe side. That's just what I do. I don't like to be wrong. Okay, it says most Indians are lactose intolerant.
That's what someone from the milk lobby would say.
Yeah, exactly. You are the milkman.
Hey, Anthony, do you consume dairy products?
I do, quite a bit, actually.
Weird. So why would someone use such language and also consume dairy products? Who's your donors? Who's your backers?
I mean, if the National Dairy Council wants to sponsor me, I'm up for that. But
do you know Tom Vilsack?
Not personally.
Okay, well, what about the Bilderbergs, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we getting the people too? Or are you gonna?
Yeah. Well, you need to.
Are you gonna ask me about the lizard people? Because they're fine. They're doing fine. You can stop asking. I talked to them this morning.
Well, no, we're not talking about the lizard people. We're talking about the milkmen. No, the milkmen. The milkmen are the Bilderbergs. The milkmen are the Bilderbergs.
Well, regardless, I think it's still China. I still think it's China.
My vagina has nothing to do with this. We're talking about the Bilderbergs.
Not your vagina, it's my
Bilderbergs. Losers. Losers.
So, Anthony, I got to get your opinion on how do you feel then about veganism?
Yeah.
Like in what way? I mean, in what context? What part of it?
So you made the argument just 5 minutes ago about how early portions of Europe especially relied heavily on cattle milk. Well, yeah. A lot of fervent arguments from folks who are vegan or choose to be vegan is that humans, not only do they not need any kind of dairy product like that, but that dairy products actively harm humans, and they've harmed us over time. How do you feel about that?
All foods harm us. I mean, there's not a food out there that does not have some kind of harmful effect on our body. I mean, we're basically eating poison, and our body's filtering it out well enough for us to use that poison to our advantage. Most other animals have some kind of food allergy that they can't process of what we eat. I mean, we can eat a lot of other things that animals can't eat. Animals can eat a lot of things that we can. Our bodies produce some chemicals that give us an advantage. Their bodies produce chemicals that give them an advantage. It's a balance. So I mean, if you're gonna ask me if I have a opinion on whether veganism is a natural process, then I would say absolutely. And the reason I would say that veganism is natural is because all animals go through dietary changes. And the fact that we used cattle at one point in time to great advantage doesn't mean that we cannot make the choice to change our diets personally or over time. But you do have to be aware of your dietary needs. You need vitamin C, and that's something that other animals don't produce. So luckily, there's a vegan option for that. It's oranges. But I mean, there's also a big problem like getting your protein. So you want to eat a lot of soy products. You want to eat Spam. You want to get stuff that I'm not interested in eating, but is good for you and does replace that. If there's a great option.
Soy and Spam are your favorite things in the world?
Soy and Spam? Yeah, that's right. That's what I said. That soy and Spam.
Wait a second. Hold on. Anthony, are you saying you're one of those soy boys?
Look like a soy boy. Look at it.
Good Lord.
Good Lord. Me too, though.
Are you saying you're one of them that the Republicans and the alt-right have been talking about?
No, I'm one of those people who's really interested in lab-grown meat. I am
also incredibly
actually, yeah,
same.
Same.
And I just want an option where, look, there's two things I don't want in my hamburger: a live creature with a brain and a tumor. And those are two things that you can get with natural.
Well, it doesn't actually matter too much if you eat. I mean, I generally speaking, a meat goes through a process that says you cannot have this kind of tissue in it. But even if you do eat, say, cancerous meat, you're technically okay.
You're missing my point. You're missing my. Sorry, you're missing my point. It's uncomfortable for the animal.
Well, I mean, yeah, the animal's gonna die in order to make that food possible. Yeah, and it's not.
That's why I'm talking about grown meat, because you're avoiding two things: killing an animal and tumors.
Right. What's up, Tati? How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty good, Tati. Thank you.
Oh, we got a messenger?
Yeah.
God, I thought he was talking to a dog or something.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
It always does sound like you're talking to a dog.
I am actually in favor of veganism. I think that the sooner everyone becomes vegan, the better.
Have you ever, Rodon, this is directed at you specifically, but have you ever considered taking a big wad of raw meat and sticking it in your butt?
Wait, what?
I don't believe I have. No.
Okay, Jaden, how about you?
Repeat the question.
Have you ever considered taking a very large wad of raw meat and putting it up a rectum?
Putting it. Sorry, there's some feedback.
Putting it up your rectum.
Oh, no, I have not.
Okay.
Have you ever considered putting a hot dog in your ass? And I'm a human being. I have imagined the.
I am an American. I am a red-blooded human being.
That's right. I have. This is a scenario that I've pictured in my mind. It's not like a ooh, but it's more like a and mostly because have you ever heard of that atheist commentator the Christian who said that the banana was proof?
Ray Ray Comfort. Ray Comfort.
So Ray Comfort used to say that the banana was proof that God exists because it fits in your hand. And the guys the guys on the Atheist Experience, their rebuttal was, well, it also fits in your butt.
And in your mouth. Yeah.
So if you've never considered that banana being in your butt, the moment someone brings it up, yeah, you have considered it. Suddenly, you're thinking about it.
I brought up to you the concept of putting a hot dog in your butt.
I'm sorry, what did you say, Aaron?
Are you guys not able to hear me?
We're getting feedback, or at least I am.
I'm getting some hardcore feedback too.
So if you have headphones maybe, or earbuds.
I hate earbuds.
When you sit back, you buzz a little.
I mean, it could be you, it could be Anthony as well. So I'm not sure. But what was the question?
What was the question?
I don't remember. And if you
was it something about putting bananas up my rectum?
Oh yeah.
Oh no, for Anthony. So
yeah, raw meat in your ass.
How the hell did you start thinking, or who the hell suggested to you about putting a hot dog in your bum?
Well, actually, I believe I saw it on a movie, and it was a frozen hot dog. I don't recall what the movie was, but if I say frozen hot dog enough times, I feel like it's going to come to me. But it was
the phrasing in the statement.
Naturally putting
it's
on.
Gonna come to me, frozen hot dog.
Oh my God, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Freudian shit going on.
Of de-thawing.
I imagine.
What kind of de-thawing?
He just said it.
I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's already been made. It's been made.
The hot dogs are finished. Good.
The hot dogs are ready.
Hot.
Oh,
this is so bad.
Hey.
How to segue out of this?
Let's talk about
because Aaron got us in this position.
Oh, we can talk about cherry pies.
I'm actually not a fan of cherry pie.
I love cherry.
I love cherry pie.
I like
we're split evenly.
I like cherry pie, but I also like apple pie with ice cream.
Is this a straight person thing?
Does anybody
is cherry pie a straight person
think
thing?
about it? What is pie also referred to as, or what else is referred to as pie? And then cherry, red.
She's my cherry pie. Cool drink of water, make a sweet surprise.
Yeah, whatever.
Grown man cry.
What kind of pie do you like?
I love apple pie.
I love apple. My pie doesn't have anything to do with sexuality.
And like, I was talking specifically about the cherry pie.
I also like apple pie, so I'm gonna change my answer. I don't like that. Nope, it's a straight guy thing. I don't like pie.
Yeah.
Pie's a straight guy thing. Whatever.
It is.
I wanted to go around and ask everybody what their pie is. Does everybody have a pie? Everybody has a pie. I have a pie.
Yeah, if I had to choose a pie, it's still apple pie. Still apple pie.
But it's not really a pie.
So about fat-grown meat.
Why is apple pie not really a pie?
We were just going around and asking your favorite pie.
Yeah, how's apple pie not a pie?
No. What I said is not a pie. Technically.
No. Okay, well, let's see. There's this is killing me. Walnut. What the fuck has
pecan?
Pecan.
I love
pecan pie.
Pecan pie is pretty good.
Yeah.
Boston cream pie.
I have one downstairs actually.
I have an apple and a no, I don't have an apple, but I have a Marionberry and a pumpkin pie.
Oh. Marionberry is great. Boysenberry is pretty darn good too.
Boysenberry, I bet that will.
Lingonberry.
Lingonberry is good.
Good berry.
God, I haven't had a rhubarb pie.
Berries.
Oh, it's been a while, yeah.
I've never had a rhubarb. I don't know what it tastes like.
Oh.
I've had it a few times.
Me a kiwi. It's very sweet.
Very sweet, yeah, and very thick.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't like it very much then, honestly.
You like strawberry, right?
I do like strawberries, but not.
Have you ever had a kiwi?
My favorite thing. Yeah.
Do you like kiwi?
Yeah.
Then you'd probably like a rhubarb. You'd be fine with rhubarb. You would like it. I think you'd like it.
Have you guys ever had a Boston cream pie?
I just said Boston cream earlier. I'm like, but that's technically not a pie. But that would be my favorite pie.
It's how's that not a pie? How's a cream pie?
It's a pie.
It
has pie in its name.
It's a pie. I'm fine with it being a pie. It's just it doesn't stack up to like fruit pies.
It's a cake.
Well, what about a chocolate cream pie? I mean, come on, that doesn't stack up to a fruit pie, but it's still a pie.
Cream pie is actually in a pie crust. Boston cream pie is not. It's a cake. It's literally just a cake.
Really?
I mean, there are plenty of other cream pies.
I feel like a cake. It's like a pie-like shape, right?
Well, a lot of cakes are circular, yes, but it's literally like cake and then cream and then more cake and then chocolate.
You don't have to have crust for it to be a pie, do you? That's,
I mean,
that would have to be the definition.
Yeah, that's kind of the definition. Is like the pie crust
with a filling.
Pie
And this
crust.
is cake.
Yeah, but there have been so many
because you don't have pie filling, you just have filling, but you have pie crust because that's the defining.
Wait, hold on though. But like, you can have like the pie crust under. You don't have to have the pie crust over. You can have the filling exposed.
Well, yeah, I agree with that.
Most pies, their filling is exposed.
Mm-hmm.
Most, not all.
You win this round, Batman. All right. So yeah, so that was peach pie is not bad if you've never had it. Mango pie,
coconut cream pie. I like coconut cream pie, and sometimes I like banana cream.
I've never had banana cream pie, but I don't like cream pie, so I figure
banana cream. We finally got out of talking about
you like cherry pie. You've never had cream pies.
Hey, I like having cream pies.
Me too. I love cream.
I don't. I genuinely don't, and also I don't appreciate the sexual innuendo. So I'm just gonna sit over and shaking my head.
No, I hate whipped cream. I hate whipped cream. I don't like cream pie.
I like custard. Is what I like.
And so I don't
like custard,
I don't like lemon cream pie, so I wouldn't like banana cream pie. That's just my deduction.
Meringue is really cool.
I don't like lemon meringue. I don't like lemon meringue.
The consistency is weird, isn't it?
Well, no. I'm just not a big. I'm not a big fan of meringue. It's the meringue that throws me off.
That thick, yeah.
Well, I mean the egg whites, obviously the beaten egg whites. But like, and it's not the texture; it's just how they taste. I can't get over it. Like it ruins the other part of this otherwise, just kind of a lemon jelly pie thing. And
it really is
worse.
It really is just lemon jelly hovering in whipped cream.
Yeah.
But a lot of other pies are literally just one thing hovering in something else too.
Well, yes, I'm just saying that you don't put two awful things together.
Oh, but I like lemon jelly.
Yeah, I see. Lemon is way more superior than cherry, so.
Lemon is better than cherry. But
I don't know. There's always lemon. There's always lemon-filled donuts left over on the shelf, and not the cherry. So,
like, I would rather have a lemon-based dessert than a cherry-based dessert. But at the same point in time, I really do love maraschino cherries, like especially.
I can't do that's too much.
I like black cherries and maraschino cherries, the complete opposite.
Black cherries are good, but see, I'm not a big fan of a lot of cherry desserts. There are some things that they use black cherries like Black Forest cake, something like that, where once in a while black cherries are really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then like other random dishes with black cherries, I think are really good. But I don't like cherry pie. I like cherry flavoring, but cherry pie is just weird to me. It's like too tart when it should be sweeter. I don't know.
I can understand that for sure.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on who makes it. I mean, there are places that make their filling really tart, and then there are places that make it with a little bit more sugar, and it just really depends on where you get it. Cherry pie, I've had some real tart, bitter cherry pie I don't like, but it's hit or miss.
I mean, like, cherry pie is the most hit or miss pie I think that I've ever had.
True.
Because like I can think of like apple pies that suck are still kind of okay.
Yeah, you still
yeah, and like all pumpkin pies are pretty much the same.
But a bad cherry pie is a bad cherry pie.
Yeah, but a bad cherry pie is a bad cherry pie, and nobody wants a bad cherry pie. Exactly.
Whoa,
you get that dry cherry pie?
What about
that brown cherry pie?
Oh, gross. What about non-sweet pies like shepherd's pie?
Oh yes, I
don't know. Are there
shepherd's
actual
pie.
birds in that? Because I just keep hearing limericks and fairy tale shit. I've never actually had a shepherd's pie. I don't know what's in it.
Well, I mean, a shepherd's pie has lamb.
Yeah,
you could always. What?
But it has lamb.
Lamb. I thought you said clam. I'm sorry.
No, ground lamb. And what's the name of the one if you have beef in it instead of lamb?
Oh, it's like shit on a shingle or some stupid.
No. No, no. It's just it's something else's. It's like because there's shepherd's pie and then there's
Rosemary's Pie.
no. It is called a meat pie, Christian, but there's something else.
Pig's pie.
No, it's like named after like a profession, like just like a shepherd, you know.
Oh,
and it's
black
not like
pie.
and it's not like cattlemen's or anything.
Chocolate
But regardless, cottage pie. It's actually cottage pie. Sorry, my bad. Cottage pie.
That's a
And
dwelling.
yeah, I know, and it's not a person's thing, but I thought that it was a person's thing, but it is a cottage pie. But
technically a cottage thing.
So it's ground meat and potatoes, mashed potatoes on the top. And it's basically like a meat pie. It's really good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
Layers of.
I don't like pot pies or meat pies.
It's so savory.
I love homemade pot pies.
Homemade pot pies are really good, but I'm even okay with like the really shitty, like cheap things because I still like them.
I don't like.
I still like them.
I think of raw dough. It just tastes like raw dough to me.
Well, that's the thing is that I eat it with rice. So I'm actually balancing it out by making the primary starch of the dish better than the starch of the pie. So it kind of like overwrites it for me.
You know what? There is this place. I have to say this because all of a sudden we're talking about pot pie, right?
Yeah.
There is this place up in Reno. It's a little diner place that serves the greatest chicken pot pie I've ever had in my life. I can't explain it. The flavor is so phenomenal. And I've literally been telling everybody who likes chicken pot pie, you gotta try it at some.
Okay, where? Please, let me know.
I always forget the name of it. My friend gets mad at me. It's like Silver Queen, Silver Ranch. Yeah, it's up in Reno. It's just across.
I've heard of the Silver Queen.
It's across the street from the
Silver Queen's in Virginia City.
Yeah,
and also here in Carson, but it's across the street from Gold Dust West. It's like silver and something, I think. Gold and silver? Is it gold and silver?
I'm just gonna put gold and silver restaurant, gold and silver inn. It's got your Western style.
It's the worst place in the world because it's pure comfort food and everything tastes amazing.
Comfort food, entree.
American is perfect for
the world. I hate that place.
I think I live off of comfort food. I think that's my problem.
Yeah, I pretty much live off of comfort food too.
Well, fuck you guys.
Oh, okay, here it is. Chicken pot pie. Chicken and vegetables in a rich cream sauce for $10.25.
It's huge. It's like this big. And it comes with a bunch of sides and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds good. Sounds good.
Right on.
Where's this at?
What's this place called?
Gold and Silver. Oh, it's so good. We all four of us should go there at one point. That would be great.
All right. Well, we'll make that a plan.
Okay, so it's right next to the Silver Legacy. Okay.
It's a bit down the street from the Silver Legacy. It's right across from the Gold Dust West.
Well, I mean, to me, that's right down. To me, that's right next to. I know it's a couple streets down. To me, that's right next to.
Well, the difference is you'll find parking there.
We could park at the Silver Legacy, and you would want to walk after you're done eating them.
Yeah. I'm hoping that we can even just fucking go through Carson or something. Like I haven't had like a proper like go out and get food from a place, you know, like go and actually go to a restaurant and sit down and have a proper meal without rushing, without doing anything in so long.
That would be nice, yeah.
It'd be nice to be able to just sit the fuck back and order every appetizer you want and sit there for however long and just shooting the shit and eating and having fun.
Does anyone else find it weird that this is the majority of everybody's priority right now is just to get out, be out in the open? And I'm as a person who's kind of been like always been a shut-in, always been kind of a loner. I only went to the lounge and then I just went back home or I worked all day.
Yeah, same.
As a person who only had a once in a while, get out period, and would sometimes shut in for years at a time, this is all very normal to me. And just to see how people are like, oh, I just wish I could get out in a restaurant.
Well, it's like it matters to me in a very superficial way.
It's weird to observe. That's all.
But to me, the aspect of not being able to see any of my friends, like, kind of sucks. I haven't seen my friends in many months, because things have gotten worse and we've had to stay inside, right? And I felt like I've had to stay inside, and I just know that that after this shit, I'm not taking this shit for granted anymore. Nah, if that's one good takeaway from 2020, stop taking this shit for granted.
Yeah, somebody on
NPR, with your friends and live a little.
Somebody on NPR, and I remember exactly what they were saying, because I recall thinking to myself, wow, I'll be 44 by then. But somebody said, excuse me, that this whole COVID thing will normalize in about 2024. That was all. That's great. I'll be halfway through my 40s by then. Maybe I can get out there and start dating.
God, by that time you're gonna pretty much hit middle age.
Middle age? I'm technically way
no,
past.
You're not. Shut up. No, you're not.
Well, I mean, middle age in the sense of like
Aaron's
natural progression of life. Middle age. What?
Sorry, I was saying Aaron is trying to desperately grasp onto his youth.
20 years before I catch up to him. I'm just saying, for his sake, he's not yet middle aged, but by the time he's 44 or 45, yeah, I'd say he's middle aged.
Well, I mean, even if you make it to 120 and technically your middle age is 60, you're just you're just past, octogenarian. You're now hitting the extra portion. It doesn't make you middle aged at 60. It just means that 60 was the middle of your life. So technically, middle age is
the average lifespan is like 70 to 80. So I usually put middle aged around 40.
So technically, me dating that 21-year-old girl was my midlife crisis.
Let's not talk about that on the podcast.
Are we too fragile to talk about it?
It was just a joke. Let it go.
We don't talk about what happened in Vegas.
That wasn't in Vegas.
I know.
Listen, we live in Nevada. We're the ones that are steeped in that shit.
Yeah,
that's true.
We were steeped in the secrets of Las Vegas.
Discuss my own life, but yeah, So midlife. That's still 30, 35. I don't care if we live to 100 to 200.
When was it ever 30 or 35 though? I literally think middle age is in your 40s.
Middle age. Okay, so let's actually look this up.
If you actually do the math, like 35 plus 35 equals 70 is when most people die. So, I mean,
70? No, most people die well into their 80s. That's
most people die before they even make it to their 70s. To be
frank.
Okay.
That is true. The reason why the
so technically, and I was wrong. Middle age is not 35. Middle age is 45.
Told you. I know what I'm
getting there. I'll get there.
So,
I know what I'm talking about because I'm super fish. I'm super fucking fish, and I needed it to be what I said so that I'm not middle aged.
Middle age ends at 60. I wish I could say I was middle aged because then I could, I could, I could excuse all the shit that I just, that I've done. But
wait, what do you mean by that?
Spending a lot of money and hooking up with girls who are
erratic stuff. No, trust me, boo boo. Your erratic stuff. Trust me, boo boo. That's not your midlife crisis. That's coming. Wait another 10 years.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's good to find out. No, I appreciate that.
That's good to know.
I can't believe you really thought middle-aged was in your 30s. Like
no, I've got 5 years before I hit middle age. I didn't know that. No, I thought middle age was in your 30s. I thought it began in your 30s.
Well, I mean, Aaron, stop acting like you're so like you don't understand this, because you know about gay death, man. You know that whole thing.
That's
right?
very different. But the common
wait, what's gay death?
Has always been middle-aged is 40s and 50s. That's always been the common societal thing. Like,
no, Tim, what is this thing you are speaking of?
Yeah.
So gay death is, from my understanding, the age at which a gay individual is no longer able to be in the pool of partners.
Oh, what the? That's a thing?
Yeah, I hit that when I was 7.
It's a pretty fucking dumb thing. It's an incredibly fucking dumb thing, but yeah.
Shit.
I hit that when I was 15. I'm not like worried about. There's the amount of things.
It's a joke. It's a joke.
3.
Yeah, I met a 65-year-old guy named Jerry when I first moved up here. He was still hitting it at his age. He was dating guys our age, so I mean, he was doing all right for himself.
Yeah, I'm not like I don't think that it's a real thing, and people that think that it's a real thing are really superficial anyway, and I don't want to associate with them. So
there's a lot of them though that exist in the community, as you know. There's a lot. Like
a lot.
Almost the majority, I think.
Yeah.
I don't recommend men dating out of your age range, but I mean,
cares about them. I just.
Well, I mean, that's
not... literally by the time we hit 23, my friends are like, "We're way too old. We can't do anything anymore." And I'm like, "So you only were able to do things for like 2 years of your life, and then now you're done for the rest of your life?" Like, ooh, that stuff actually used to piss me off, because to me, it's like you have an entire life like to live, and hopefully you don't die prematurely, but enjoy your life, live your life, like actually do it. So things like this whole premature age bullshit that does exist heavily and strongly in the gay community, I think is detrimental to people.
It is. I firmly believe that it's actually that kind of relief is directly a result of a patriarchal society.
This is a really interesting subject.
It's a direct result of it.
So it's a patriarchal system that's perpetrated by a male-dominated group.
It's a male-dominated culture, yeah.
Well, yeah. So how can there be a patriarchy if everyone has the same gender? This is really fascinating to me.
Okay, so we're not. Who said everybody has the same gender?
Okay.
I'm confused on that now.
All right, maybe I got lost a little bit. Sorry. Go on.
Okay. So I was just saying that the power system of patriarchy, for what it is, which is essentially just the classically male-dominated traditional traditions that have kind of come down, mostly with Judeo-Christian philosophy, and there's like such a heavy emphasis on a male being able to get like whoever they want at like whatever age, and generally in the younger ages, and this has been the common practice throughout history for a long time, and even now as it is, as stuff with people, stuff with minors is illegal, right? Great. We still have a culture that is very pointed at youth, and idolizes youth, and kind of worships youth, and values it above a lot of other things. I mean, I can't tell you how many gay men who are just devastated when another birthday comes by or whatever, because it's such a big deal in the gay community, because it's men dating other men, and you are having this traditionally male kind of like social programming in this community of people, of dudes that are dating each other, and it can be really self-perpetuating and harmful for anybody who engages in it. And because it leads to a low standard of yourself, and then also makes you highly inflate the value of the youth of others, and so then you are kind of what you hate in that aspect, because
do it straight.
you know
Do it straight. People do stuff that down, bury it real deep, and pretend it doesn't bother you.
Yeah.
Well, but that's not actually true. Not even in straight culture. I mean, most
No,
guys want
it's
to
terrifying.
date the youngest women possible.
That's
You know?
true.
So it is
nice.
it's a problem. But I don't know if it's a problem in the lesbian world, quite frankly. So I'm wondering if it's an
I've
exclusively
actually
male issue.
okay. I've actually encountered a couple of very, very much older women who
Very much like to ask
dated
some
dated very much younger women in the lesbian community, and they seem to have very solid relationships. I mean, like I'm just saying, I can't make that kind of judgment, but it seemed to be a very solid relationship.
Oh well, I'm not saying as to whether relationships
Whatever.
in that state are
Well,
solid.
no. What I'm saying is that I have encountered them. I'm not saying that I have encountered girls in a crowd who were making out with each other, and I said, "Oh yes, I've known older women who have made out with younger women." No, I have known people in lesbian relationships who had much older or partners. So it seems to be common among all groups.
Well, I'm wondering what's going through their heads though. Like, do they have that kind of
Oh yeah,
internalized
I couldn't imagine. I mean,
like
there's a
youth
whole.
culture? Because I just haven't heard it from.
We really could use a woman on this show at some point.
I agree. I mean,
we really could. I mean, we could ask them all these questions. We could say, "Hey, so and so, you're a woman."
I
just don't know if the youth thing is a big deal outside of like the gay male.
How about this? If we have
circles.
any LGBTQ in the lesbian community, particularly, who can answer that question, write in.
Yeah, leave a comment. You know, seriously, if you are specifically, honestly, if you are a woman who is same-sex attracted, please leave a comment and tell us what is that like for like in the context of dating, because with gay men it is very focused on youth and beauty, and you know it's just it's
Sure.
you know I think it's really toxic, but you know, but I'm curious to hear what the other side is like.
Is it a natural focus on youth and beauty? Are we naturally attracted to youth and that kind of beauty? Because I mean, we know that we're not culturally, but that culturally beauty is different. I mean, everything from what beauty is in Africa to South America to Peru to China is different than we view beauty.
There's probably an aspect of it that is biological, only because you know biologically when female are younger they tend to be, you know, they tend to still be able to rear children.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, there is a biological component, sure, but like, you know, counterpoint to that, and I heard that in Sparta, for example, men who were part of like the Spartan armies or whatever, to get them to stop being, or to like reprogram, I guess, because they're sex with other men in Sparta was very, very popular.
Let me explain something about that. It wasn't just that sex with men was popular in the military in Sparta and in Greece. You were actually considered to be a pariah and somewhat of an outlier if you loved your wife.
Right.
Oh, really?
If you were in love with your
so?
wife, you were considered to be less of a man.
Well, and
because
women would.
A real man loved other men and fought with other men and went to war with other men and
fucked
slept
other
with
men.
other men. It was manly. So,
well, and not only that, but women would, I guess, purposefully make themselves look a lot more masculine to appear more attractive to men in Sparta, for example.
There was a very different view of what beauty was, and generally what a lot of Greek writing seems to show is that women basically beautified themselves, just like today, to compete with each other. How many things have we seen? How you and me, Jaden? How many trends have you seen that women wear that absolutely are horrendously unattractive, yet somehow women used it to compete? I mean, from the outside.
I mean, I don't know if I would say it's used to compete. I mean, the way women dress.
Make one gesture, and you should know what I'm talking about. Do you remember those? Do you remember the painted on eyebrows when the girls would shave off their eyebrows and then paint
hold on.
eyebrows? This is a big trend.
Well,
about 10 years ago, 10 years ago.
Sure. But what I'm trying to say here is, in terms of like how women dress, it's not for like women to compete with other women. So, a lot of it is just, it's gendered socialization. The reason why we assume that it's competition is because how we have been culturally developed, socially, in the United States. I mean, the United States has a very adversarial way of going about things. I mean, we're the country of eugenics. We're the country of social Darwinism. So
peacocking is the pinnacle of male competition.
Well, hold on, but we're not. Hold on. So humans generally are a lot more collaborative, especially in smaller tribes. So I think a lot of like what we attach ideas such as competition to is just a manifestation of our capitalistic hyper consumerist culture. But I don't think women. I don't think women are deliberately trying to compete with other people. I mean, if they are, it's because a bunch of old men in a stockroom that listen to market analysts brainwash them to do so.
Some women are, but the vast majority of women are just wearing makeup and nice dresses and things because it makes them feel good. Makes them feel pretty. Makes them feel nice.
When I was obsessed with wearing suits all the time, I felt better myself. And I guess you could say in some weird way, maybe I was competing subconsciously. But I just don't think that's necessarily the case. I just knew that if I put on a suit and a tie and some slacks and some dress shoes, I felt better about myself going outside. So I mean, I don't think it's like this weird way of like competing with other people of the same sex. It just people are a lot more complex than that, and I understand that we are still animals at the end of the day. But I mean, a lot of like mammals don't really like compete sexually. Like
I don't know. I mean, I grew up with the movie. The famous movie Cool as Ice with Vanilla Ice, and that movie showed me not only that you can still go ninja, but that you also that competition has been around, and people are stupid, and people are stupid in clubs, and people have been fighting each other and doing stupid shit and wearing flashy clothing and acting like assholes for ages.
Is that
people
an issue?
People compete, and people do shit.
Is that more to do with the
two people?
But I would say
people can build a building together.
Well, anyway, I would say that has a lot more to do with the material conditions of socialization. A lot of that is due to cultural elements, cultural artifacts. It's not necessarily the people, but it's the environment that shaped around them. Like a good example, like I'm on the spectrum, but like if there were a lot more people out there that communicated the way I communicate, that think the way I think, or similarly to if, being autistic was the norm, high functioning autistic was the norm, this would be a vastly different world. Culture would be completely different, Um,
maybe.
Maybe. Right, maybe. Exactly. Right?
Well, I think it would be different in many ways.
But that's the thing though. A lot of people react a certain way.
Whether it would be better or worse, I don't know.
My point is that we are where we're at culturally, but I mean capitalism goes against human nature in general, and like I said, this hyper competitive, hyper atomized, way of going about life is it is antithetical to how humans have survived and prospered in the past. A lot of our competitive edge is through cooperation, not through backstabbing. Yeah.
There's always been competition in the sense that we've competed for fun.
We've competed, we've competed for fun. We've competed with the environment. We've,
and we've competed with each other. We've competed with tribe against tribe.
Right, and there have been tribal wars, but
our group.
Yeah, but
we don't compete within our group, and our group has gotten a lot bigger.
Right.
So we're not supposed to compete within our large group, but we're still competing within our large group. And that's the thing is that we're driven to be able to compete.
But
have you ever heard something called a muck? In Africa, it's when somebody goes crazy for no reason, and a muck specifically describes when they're stabbing someone with a spear for no reason. So they'll go around and they'll start attacking somebody with their spear, and the whole tribe will grab them and hold them down. So, I mean, you're talking about like there's 40, 50, 60 people to a tribe. And they stop this person from doing what they're doing, and a few hours later they let them up, and they're fine. And everything is fine. They bandage themselves up, they get back to work, and they're okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that anthropologists studied in context with like school shootings. Like, why do we go crazy for no reason? And maybe that's what's going on, and maybe people who are going out and doing these crazy things for apparently no reason really are doing them for no reason. So, we try to understand ourselves through understanding our tribal behavior, but we also have to understand that we've also changed over tens of thousands of years. We haven't been a fully hunter-gatherer society, at least most of our tribes, at least in this, definitely in these 4 squares, our tribes have not had that issue for tens of thousands of years.
Well,
it depends. I mean, because
I'd say that people generally are made to work together. I think that was the gift that was given to us, was our voice and our ability to communicate with each other, even without our voice, sign language, touch, and whatnot.
Yeah.
And being able to communicate with one another and understand each other is such a vital part of being human. And it feels like we're getting further and further and further away from like understanding what each other is talking about. It feels like we're living in separate realities.
A little bit.
And that's kind of ironic, considering that throughout the globe, it's becoming easier and easier to communicate with each other, and language is becoming more and more homogenized. It's just, yet it's so. It's
the thing is that it becomes that very same roadway becomes a roadway for misinformation, disinformation,
Yeah, sure.
and as easy as it would have been in the 60s for the CIA to mess up lines of communication, imagine how easy it is now with the internet, what kinds of things you can put out into the ether. And and
Yeah, I
not
can't
have
wait until
anybody
deep
know any
fakes
different.
get good. Hey, if Disney can't make Mark Hamill look good on The Mandalorian, we're not there yet. That's tens of millions of dollars put into that kind of technology. If they can't do it, we can't do deep fakes yet. So I'm at least relieved about that.
I mean, there are some deep fakes that are all right. I just yeah, we'll see where that's at. But I mean, that's the thing, is you don't even need to use the veneer of somebody's face. You don't have to anymore. So it's oftentimes all you'll need is a voice. Sometimes you don't even need a voice. Sometimes
Yeah,
you just
it's
need to be
getting
able to put text on a screen.
yeah, it's getting better, but it's like saying, hey, the graphics on the PS5 look so real. Yeah, but they don't look real.
Yeah, but that's not what I was trying to get at. Is
That's
all
what I
I'm
was
saying.
trying to get at. Okay, can
That's
we take a break?
Well, actually, it is 8 o'clock, so.
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock. So we were going to. I thought we were going to just stop soon.
Mm-hmm.
But we can we could wrap up for tonight instead of taking a 15-minute break and coming back for 10 minutes and then leaving. So any final thoughts, Aaron? You haven't spoken in a while.
Try to be responsible with all that money the federal government's sending your way.
Oh yeah, we didn't even.
Oh, the
get to talk about
$600. Oh, yay!
And Anthony?
I'm still waiting on that new Beetlejuice movie. So.
Oh yeah.
Wait, is it gonna be 600 or 2,000?
600. Trump signed it an hour ago.
Oh, he did. He did sign it.
Yeah.
Okay, so hooray, $600.
Woo. Okay. I mean,
Yay.
I'm glad that people are getting the help they need. I'm glad. I'm glad that something's happening, but I'm. It's hard. It's hard to be happy when people throw pennies at a homeless person. You know what I mean?
Hey, you know what? If they gave us that universal income, I would go right back to work, happy as shit. But 600 is gonna fucking be a drop in my little fucking bucket.
I mean, honestly, if they were to be like, "Yo, get your ass back out there. I'll pay you to put your life on the line." Sure. You know what?
Oh,
sure.
I put my life on the line every damn day just doing the job I'm doing, and yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
And I think that all of the people that are considered essential, I saw them use another word. It was like
Heroes.
no. It was like essential, but it was like another tier of essential, like it was some kind of special essential. I don't know, but it's like they keep making fucking tiers so that the people that were originally essential can't be like, hey, we're essential, aren't we? Don't we deserve more? Collective bargaining. Don't we deserve better pay and better hours? And what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, they fucked us immediately.
And it's so blatant, and I don't understand how people can't see it.
Okay, now this is the problem that I have is it's not only in this state that it's tough to get by, but when I'm trying to do my job and people are trying to tell me to do something that endangers my life. These are people who are customers, people who have bought stuff from the store that I work, and usually I'm just delivering their shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
They want me to come into their house.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And some of them will bribe you. Some of them will say, "Oh yeah, just bring it in." Some of them will say, "Oh, I already talked to your manager. You can bring it in." get back to the store, and I'm like, I refuse to do this. Why did you tell them I could? Oh, we didn't have anything to do. The customer lied. I mean, or my manager lied to me. One of the two. So, it's really tough out here. People don't give a shit about you.
Yeah.
I mean, with my job, I have to go into some customers' houses to do like printer deliveries, and it's like, I mean,
right now, literally, the law is that you can only do doorstep deliveries. The law is that's the governor right now. You shouldn't be doing that.
Well, it's hard when what you're delivering is like 1-ton printers.
Yeah, they should be bringing it in their own.
I don't know what the specific legality of that is, so I mean, I can't speak on that.
Yeah, it's hard to like, tell them not to when like, I mean, some of these people like we put in like full copiers in their houses.
Yeah, I don't know what you can do about that, but
so I mean,
it's screwed. It's like there's some things that can't go on, and there's some things that have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And we need vaccinations as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, and that's a whole nother barrel of monkeys that we didn't get to talk about, but we will for sure in the future.
Yeah, especially since we now have.
I mean, coming back after X amount of weeks, figure take it easy, right?
Right.
Yeah, who knows? We could always do one in the middle of the week, and
we could
just to make up for some time lost.
Yeah, maybe.
That depends where everybody's at and everybody's schedule and everything. We'd have to be like
exactly. Yeah. Do a mini series.
Yeah,
but,
right.
On my end note is number one, happy holidays. Sorry that we missed them. Second of all, stay safe out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Stay safe. And have a good night, everybody. This has been the Co-op Soapbox podcast.
Have a good night.
I'm Rodon. Have a good one.